What's going on, everybody? It's Jason with another campfire chat. Just relaxing out here. Day 737 in a row. Building my tiny house, so we're actually sleeping in tonight. So no tent, no hotel, no cot under the stars. But I think this is the warmest spot right now. The boys are already chilling in the tiny house with still a couple of missing plywood panels on the roof, a makeshift tarp for that section with the little buddy heater in there, and I don't think it's doing a whole lot. So I've heard a couple gripes about the temperature. So yeah, it's been really nice in the daytimes out here. I don't know what temperature was today, but it seemed a little warmer today than it was the last couple of days. But yeah, 50s, 60s, flannel, some pants, work boots, comfortable. Shirt off, you get sweaty, you get cold again. So, but it's decent temperature. But nighttime says it's supposed to be down 25 tonight. So I hope that's inaccurate. It sure feels like it's close. Fingers are freezing out here, and I tell you what, sitting by the campfire, I got no pistachios. I was trying to use some licorice tonight, even though the rumor is that stuff can kill you. I'm a professional licorice eater, so I think I'm above the average Joe what I can handle. But I tell you what, the teeth couldn't handle it. This stuff was rock hard. It was like crystallizing. It was so cold. So, and I was thinking about making some coffee, but I'm just way too lazy right now, or too tired, or whatever it may be, to fire up a pot of coffee. So yeah, so I'm just chilling. Like I said, boys are in bed a little early, or at least relaxing in bed. No video games out here, so I guess time to catch up on some sleep. But we're getting stuff done. We had a little setback. We had a truck problem. Ended up having a little bit of metal on metal clanking on our truck. We picked up a 2009 Dodge Mega Cab dually diesel last couple months, so I had no problems with it. It's like a little ranch truck. It's all stock, hard to find one of those not molested, so real low miles, and it's just a cool truck to haul our stuff back and forth as we're building out here. Not the best for the road. The road is just completely hammered. So our previous truck we had, it was like a monster truck on steroids, and it was really fun for the dirt portion. Just wasn't real good at towing and all that good stuff. So that's the reason we got rid of that, and also made a little money off of it. So I wanted to dually. I wanted something I can tow. I just want to have no limits on what kind of load I can pull. But yeah, we had a little metal on metal clanking, which this road we live off is pretty haggard. So I mean, it's expected to damage your truck a little bit, your car a little bit. And it's a 4x4. It's got decent clearance. Got just normal tires and whatnot. But yeah, we had a little metal on metal, and I didn't know what it was. And then we were leaving here the other night and got on the highway. And I thought I was losing like a wheel bearing or something, just screeching down the highway at like 11 o'clock. So we hoteled it for 2 days just to get back into town and be close to somewhere where we could get the truck fixed. So luckily, well, not luckily, it still cost a couple bucks, but I found a shop in town that was a super cool guy named Ken. I think it was Ison Auto. Anyway, as a reference from someone, a gal up here I've kept in contact with here, or been in contact with. She just referred us there because I guess her company uses them, and the guy ended up being really cool and got us right in and out for the most part. But yeah, had a rock got stuck between probably the dust shield and the rotor or something, and it was making just a horrendous noise. So kind of a dumb thing, but when you're stuck out here in the middle of nowhere or driving around in the middle of the night, you really don't. I don't have the tools on me to do that kind of even that kind of repair, pulling the tire up barely, but pulling the tire up and not the rotor and all that stuff, or the caliper or the dust guard. So anyway, the screeching luckily wasn't a bearing. I just had the vehicle serviced. Whenever I buy something used, if I'm too lazy to do it myself, I pay someone to do it and go through it and put all the fluids in and all that stuff. And I just rather have the peace of mind. But yes, it took that, took the rock and debris out of there, and then there was also they figured out the metal on metal clanking. Something had come loose in the shock mount, and the shock itself was pretty much blown. And I kind of thought that from day one with the vehicle. Had a little soft spot in that driver's side, but it ended up being something was loose in the mount, and I looked under it like 15 times. I don't know how I missed that, but sure enough, we threw a couple of new shocks on there and redid the bolts and nuts and all that on the top of the shock mount, and got that rock out, and it runs like a champ. So But yeah, so we had a couple setbacks, a couple days worth, so a day and a half or so, just getting that, nursing that back to town, and then setting up an appointment and dropping it off, and grabbing a hotel for a day or 2 days, basically, just to make sure that I wasn't stranded out here, and figure out we can get that thing taken care of. So yeah, so not very exciting, but just set us back. So we're back on the property. Like I said, I got a couple panels of about 6 panels of plywood to finish tomorrow. We're gonna plastic wrap, weather wrap the tiny house exterior. We picked up the exterior plywood today that we're gonna throw on over top of that. So it's gonna be, framing, very thin plywood. I can't remember, it's Tyvex or whatever the company is. I'll do a little video on it tomorrow, but it's some sort of a moisture barrier wrap for the exterior, and we're going back with like a true wood, plywood, kind of a composite. I've used it up in Big Bear in the past on the shop I built up there, and to remodel some of the house. And although I'm not a big fan of some of these composite woods and OSB, that stuff held up really well in the snow up in about 6,800 foot elevation, and typical, similar snow to probably what we'll see out here for the most part, as far as just a few months of snow, nothing drastic. But so anyway, we picked up all the ply for the exterior, picked up all the metal for the roofing. Took a little while to source that and locate it. I didn't think I had to order anything like that, so I mentioned in one of my other videos, it's Home Depot can get that, but I think they were like 7 days out. And I've heard there's another place in town that can get it a little quicker, and they can do it to order, and so on and so forth. I'm sure there's other resources. And before we build our main structure up here, to our full-size house, we'll definitely research that a little bit better. Probably go that route as opposed to picking up, $50 panels at Lowe's at, $600, $700 worth of tiny house roof. So it gets pretty costly. But this house, I wasn't looking to like repurpose stuff or find the ingredients elsewhere, the materials elsewhere. I just figured, bite the bullet, pay the price, and just put new boards, new metal, new everything on there, and just see kind of how the dust settles. And like I said, I kind of over-engineer a lot of things, so the way this will work out, it'll be built well. It'll last the test of time, and it'll add value to the property, and it'll be a nice shop down the road after we use it for tiny house briefly. So, but yeah, so progress is still happening, a little slower than expected. Like I said, you never really anticipate having auto issues, and even though it wasn't a major auto issue, being that I'm not, I got some tools out here, but not enough to start tearing my truck apart. So, and tearing it apart on, I got 40 acres, but I don't have 40 acres for any dedicated driveway or garage or workspace technically. So, other than just cutting lumber. But so yeah, a little setback. Really, actually wasn't too bad. I mean, got to spend the day just kind of relaxing and resting the body, and when I got some food, ran some errands, and did some laundry, stuff like that we needed to take care of anyway. But anyhow, so yeah, we're still cranking away. I have a few more videos I haven't uploaded from this trip, so we're not totally up to date right now on YouTube, but I'll get some new stuff up there for everyone to kind of see progress. Probably out here for about 2 more days. Missing some work. Well, technically I'm not missing it at all. I don't miss it whatsoever at all, but I'm not there, so which is hard, because it's hard for a one-man show, so my buddy's probably just cranking down there trying to keep up. But yeah, so a couple more days out here, head back into Southern California, get some stuff in order down there, and probably making a trip out here, 30 days out or so, and come back out and start working on other projects. So, I mean, I literally have a list of 100 things to do out here that I want to conquer. Probably not going to get the chicken coop mansion reassembled like I was hoping. We're really trying to get the metal on the roof and get this thing not only dried in, but get the finished exterior on there, just so we just don't, not that it'd be a complete loss, but if you came back out here after 2 months of rain and snow and have a bunch of stuff warped and damaged, and the materials are just too expensive right now to redo anything a second time. So we're gonna just focus on that right now, get that thing not only dried in, but the exterior on there, the weather barrier on the roof, the metal. I mean, just have this thing to where it's a turnkey as far as, completely dried in, a complete solid shell, with no rain or snow issues. And then on the next trip out here, we will we'll set the base for the chicken coop mansion, but we won't actually we probably won't reassemble it. We'll probably just tarp it up so it stays out of the elements. but get it the base where we want it. We've already leveled that area off, the boys did, and then we'll put our water tank in position, and put a little water in it, keep the weight down so it doesn't fly off on us. But it's going to be a nice setup to where it's right behind the building, stays out of the sun quite a bit, in between a few of the trees we have near the tiny house. And then I probably won't have the time to build the water catchment. That'll probably just be kind of sitting stagnant until I come back. And next trip we'll focus on insulating the tiny house, the entire interior, the rafter, the roof line, all the areas below, set the loft up, figure out what we're gonna do on the inside panels. I didn't plan on going with drywall. I can't stand drywall. It looks beautiful when it's done, but I hate doing it. It's not fun. So, and I want to do something a little bit more interesting out here too. I'm really thinking more of some form of a finished, wood, or Luan panel type of wood with maybe corrugated metal lowers, more of a cabin type of a look inside, cottage from the outside, cabin on the inside kind of look. And also that can lend myself to when it turns into a workshop, it's just more utilitarian than having drywall and whatnot. So, but yeah, so we're gonna try and insulate that on the next trip, the whole deal. And like I said, put some sort of finish interior panels in there. And then electrical, I'll pop them in as I go. I'm not going to run a ton of electrical in this building. It's going to be very simple. A couple outlets, if anything, very basic. So I may drop some Romex while I'm doing that. Probably makes more sense, but it's not going to be anything real fancy as far as electrical in this place. It's going to be very simple. So I'm not really that worried about that. And like I said, maybe drop a couple little boxes in the wall, a little bit of Romex, and just have it stubbed somewhere so I can get to it later. Probably stub it below, get to it later. But yeah, so that's just the update, guys. Just a little campfire talk, hanging out, enjoying this thing burning down. Probably gonna do another 20-30 minutes out here till this thing kind of gets down to coals, stir those around, warm up, and then run to my sleeping bag and jump in there and hopefully stay warm enough to fight off this potential 25-degree promise from the weatherman. So I'm hoping I read that wrong and he meant 45 degrees, but it feels pretty cold out tonight for sure. You get away from this fire, you can feel it pretty quick. So anyhow, we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.